Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out the Lamenters story by Warrior Tier. Yes guys, I've had quite a few people recommend check out the Lamenters a little bit more on the channel. I believe they are a Blood Angel chapter if I recall. I could be wrong on that. I believe a chapter of the Blood Angels. And if I'm not mistaken as well, didn't they overcome their gene deficiency in some way? I think that being the Red Thirst. Didn't they find a way to like overcome it or some such? I know there's not really many of them left. I hear they're like a chapter kind of on the brink of extinction. I don't know a whole lot about them. It's just a couple of our members have mentioned them in passing, of course. And I know there's quite a bit of love for the Lamenters, so I did want to check them out myself a little bit. This isn't obviously a lore video. This is a story about them. So I just kind of want to see, you know, get the vibe about them, get the gist about them a little bit. So of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course, leave your recommendations down in the comments below. Big shout out to all of our members, all of our Hastati and our Principes, Dagenhart, Fear, and of course, Hobbit. I appreciate you guys. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And with that, guys, let's get right into this video. Lamenters story by Warrior Tier. 325,000 views 2 years ago. Quality good. 1440p. Nice. Captions on. Full screen. Let's get it.
Do you know the word? Lament. Like many great words, it followed us. Followed us from Terra. Do you know what it means? That word, lament. It means to mourn, to regret.
Interesting.
Remember, we lamented. I lament.
They mourn.
After our founding.
I wonder, like they're saying they lament. That's the namesake of the chapter here, obviously. I wonder what it is they're mourning. Is it sanguineous? Is it, you know, I'm not really sure the heritage or the culture at all behind this chapter. I'm not really sure, I guess, the founding principles of their, you know, their organization. I know each chapter is obviously a little bit different, can be quite a lot different depending, right? So I'm not sure if these are some of the radical, you know, Blood Angels, or, you know, if they're one of the more chill ones. They definitely seem a little bit more chill. That guy's got literally a little heart over his emblem. Look at that. We'll see.
I lament. After our founding, when we were graced with our ceramite plate, our heraldry, and our name,
we saw the tumultuous events of the 21st founding.
we saw the traitors.
Traitors.
We knew that our destiny lay elsewhere. So we did what a fleet-based legion does.
Okay, and they're fleet-based. That's cool.
To the far reaches of the Imperium.
Big fan of the fleet-based legions. Or I should say chapters in this case.
Before us. I cannot tell you how many worlds we saved. How many trillions our actions have aided, directly or otherwise. With permission from our father, Sanguinius, we spread the only thing we're spreading. Peace.
Okay.
We did so through war.
Of course. I will say they do seem like a lot more like chill for some Blood Angel chapters. I'm trying to think what's the name of the ones that are just like fucking ravenous. Oh god, I can't think of the name of the chapter now. I know there's a chapter out there, Blood Angel chapter, that is just fucking like, they're insane. Like they just massacre fucking everything and they don't stop, and they're just insane. Somebody let me know who those are. I think there's a few of them actually. I could be wrong, but these guys actually seem not like, you know, not ultra peaceful. They're still like obviously warriors for sure, and they're not afraid to get their hands dirty, but they don't seem like they're out there for like strictly blood. You know what I'm saying? They're not out there just to ravage and kill everything they see, which is nice.
Sanguinius, we spread the only thing we're spreading. Peace. Indeed, we did so through war. Sometimes bloody, brutal, and inhumane war.
Inhumane. What does that mean in 40k? Come on now.
Look to the means and criticize them can render the ends broken.
It's a good
I
line.
can tell you of the people I myself aided. I can tell you of the cancers cured by the Narthesium I wore on my own arm. I can tell you of the worlds I saw, the worlds I helped rebuild.
Wow.
I can tell you of the scent of the bread baked with pink wheat in the high world of Lonos, and how even now I can still smell that bread.
I'm surprised they get bread.
Handing it to the poor, the hungry, and the brave.
Wow.
I can tell you of the wine gifted to me.
They're literally talking about handing bread out to the poor. Like, that's, you know, you definitely don't think of Space Marines, like, you know, doing that type of act, like, unless maybe it's like a salamander or something of that sort, right? But damn, like, they actually do seem like relatively nice Space Marines. Like, it seems like a relatively nice chapter, all things considered. When they were talking about Forged in the Fires of War, I mean, obviously it's a chapter, so it's after the Horus Heresy, but I wonder what they meant, like traitors, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like, I'm assuming still heretic forces after the fact. Is that what it is? I'm assuming, like, a, you know, maybe a heretic invasion fleet or something of that sort. Somebody let me know.
Hungry.
Maybe it will tell me.
I can tell you of the wine gifted to me by the Lady Regent of Norn. Wine made from fruit grown in her family's orchards, in the same orchards that have flowered for over 900 years.
Wow.
That bottle is still somewhere in the Imperium, though I do not know where.
Interesting.
I cannot
It's a
tell you
relic
so
now.
much more, for those tales are lost. The records, those tablets, scrolls, and recordings are simply gone. Gone to the place where all tales of heroes must go.
Cast to the ethereal winds of the universe itself.
Interesting.
I could tell you of our finest hour. I say the following without ego, and pray I do not seem arrogant. I believe all should know of Corellia.
Corellia.
Many of my former brothers in arms called us cursed. I do not consider such a descriptor to be apt or just. Being an apothecary, I work with only what I know and can see. However, not all are as I am.
Interesting too. We're getting like a first person accounting of this story. Like, I almost thought like we were getting like a narrative like point of view for a little bit there, but this is like almost like a first person, like he's saying he's an apothecary. This is like what he does. You know, you're getting that like sort of connection with that character, with like an actual. It's personalizing the Lamenters a little bit more, I think, you know, like you're adding a bit of feel to them. I like it a lot. The narrative work here is really, really good so far as well. I'm really liking where this story is going. I wonder if their planet was like destroyed or something like that. He's saying everybody should remember, everybody should know of Corellia. Like, makes me think it's not with us anymore. Let's keep watching. Everything's destroyed, you know?
Not all are as I am. I learned that the hard way. The rumors of our legion being cursed spread like wildfire on the splinter bark plains of
Yeah, how are they cursed?
Thus, within a century, the rumors stuck. I admit,
Fair enough.
we had our share of bad fortune. There were battles we lost. A warrior who cannot admit his losses doesn't deserve to speak of his victories. Our chapter master was fond of saying,
Not to pause again so quickly, but I will say too, I'm usually not a fan of like the yellow, like gold type of armor, like fully, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind it accented, but I have to say it looks really good on them as well. Also, they have like kind of like the racing stripe like thing going on their shoulder plates. It's a vibe. I do kind of fuck with it a little bit. It looks nice, especially like weathered like this. I like it.
doesn't deserve to speak of his victories. Our chapter master was fond of saying that. I was coaching humbleness and truth. I hear his voice still, whispered sometimes on the wind, or echoing down an abandoned street. I'm losing my course, I apologize. I admit when a battle seems certain, something would occur to strip that certainty. Yes, we often knew the taste.
Like, it does
of the
look
actual
clean.
law.
Like this, the armor scheme on these guys too, it screams like, fucking, you're gonna see me as I shoot you down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at this battle scene though. Like, clearly, like they're trying to hold like against orcs here, holding the line. This guy got his head blown clean off, that Marine there. Clearly a losing battle, you know what I'm saying? It looks like it is, at least, but what a great like picture this is. But yeah, like it just screams like, look at me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not stealthy, it's not meant to be like I guess it could be seen as like inspiring in a sense, but to me it's just more like threatening to the enemy because the enemy can just see you that much clearer. Obviously very inspiring for your own side, but you stand out like a sore thumb to your enemy. They can see you, they will probably target you. They're meant to like take aggro, it feels like, you know what I'm saying?
Us on our tongues. But we also knew the glory of victory, of honor, and justice. I tell you of the rumor because it's important to understand how things are the way they are.
Right.
Remember, means and ends. Corellia. How rarely I think of it now. In the 38th millennium, we were called homeward by the High Lords. You see, the Eye of Terror, the dreaded smear in the skies of so many worlds, had begun to vomit forth its insidious children once more.
Okay.
This time, however, no mere rabble of babbling sycophants appeared.
Draped in the armor of the cowardly, armed with the weapons
yeah,
of a
traitors.
traitor and pulling
Yeah.
hell behind him, Abaddon in his black crusade
Abaddon.
came forth. I will not call him the despoiler.
Wow.
But I believe that to give our enemies titles only emboldens them to further their wickedness.
So this wasn't like just a minor invasion. This was the man himself. This was Abaddon. Holy fuck. So this was the first Black Crusade. How many exactly are there? Somebody let me know. I don't want to misspeak on that, but because I obviously know of the one it depicts in Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. I know of that one. Is that the second one? Somebody let me know. I don't want to misspeak too badly. Or is this the same? Is this during the same like invasion? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's a different one, but let's keep
I
watching.
believe that to give our enemies titles only emboldens them to further their wickedness. By the time we arrived, Abaddon had already burned a dozen worlds to ash.
Damn.
And offered just as many to his sorcerers, allowing demonic forces to claim billions as slaves or toys.
Yeah.
We are not a chapter remembered for its wrath or hate. But trust me when I say this, we all hated him. We
I can imagine.
With an intensity reserved usually for love. By the time we reached the Segmentum, he had destroyed 2 entire chapters of Astartes.
Really?
Both, coincidentally, named the Celestial Swords. May they find the peace that is earned by only the purest of warriors. And let me say a name to you.
So he killed 2 chapters entirely, and they were both named the Celestial Swords? That's kind of strange, isn't it? Why is that? It sounds like a double chapter. Sounds like they weren't very codex compliant, if you ask me. Sounds like it was 1 chapter, but whatever. You know, both at the same battle, two different chapters, quote unquote, same name exactly. Same battle. I don't know.
Earned by only the purest of warriors.
Sounds a little sus.
And let me say a name to you. The Mortificators. You probably don't know who they are.
Heard of them.
It's a great loss. Their ranks are filled with warriors chosen from a night world. A small, savage place that does not breed humans. It breeds animals who just happen to be human.
Interesting.
The Mortificators
that
are
looks
the successor
fucking...
chapter of the Ultramarines.
Ultramarines. Wow. So I did not get Ultramarine vibes from these guys. These guys look like fucking kick-ass Ultramarines. I'm not gonna lie. These look like Ultramarines if they went fucking savage, dude. Look at this fucking faceplate. That's scary. Like, this is intimidating as fuck. He's got like... This almost looks like a silenced bolter, dude. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to be? He's got a scope on there, too. It looks sick. It looks kick-ass. Like, he looks... It looks like a commando Ultramarine. Like, that's what this looks like. That I fuck with. I won't lie.
The
Holy shit.
Mortificators are a successor.
They got the
chapter of
backpack on,
Ultramarines.
bedroll. Damn.
That is a fact that still surprises me to this day. Again,
Me too.
You ask yourself, what all this has to do with anything, correct? Well, the Mortificators were to hold Corellia alongside us. They
Okay.
were to defend its 9 billion population, its hab towers, its scolums, its refineries, all of it, from Abaddon and his Black Crusade. But we had spent 3 weeks building defenses, training humans and doing all we could. We received word that these noble sons of Guilliman, these successors to the legends of old McCrag, would not be helping those 9 billion people. They would not defend those hab towns, those scoms, or those refineries, because my brothers and I were cursed.
What?
They
That's why?
abandoned us. They abandoned the soldiers, the mothers and fathers, the grandparents.
I just want to say, so they abandoned them because they heard the rumors that they were cursed? Bro, look at how those fuckers dress and tell me they're not cursed, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, a little sus to me, but also, like, I don't know, like, it's a fucking crusade going on, times are tough. Like, this is a heretic invasion fleet we got going on here, led by Abaddon himself. You know, and they're not itching to get in there and defend this world against them. I don't know. Fuck. That is pretty sus shit. I won't lie. They did kind of abandon them, if that's the case. I don't know if there's more to it or not. Let's see.
They abandoned the soldiers, the mothers and fathers, the grandparents.
Maybe there's more to the story. If not mentioned, let me know.
They sentenced so many to death.
Ah.
We did the best we could.
Straight superstition.
If you have it within you, please believe me. We spent 6 weeks fighting. 6 weeks.
That's pretty good.
So much is a blur. So much isn't
That's
even
good to
there.
hold out on your own.
So much more isn't even a blur.
1 chapter.
I could list the names of the 804 starters who fell.
Oof.
I could tell you the color of their eyes.
804 is insane, considering a chapter is, what, 1,000 men, right? So, like, figuratively, right? Like, 1,000 Marines, I should say. That's fucking a significant loss. Like, it will take work to come back from that. Like, your reserves are not going to be enough to even fill that loss. Holy shit. And then to train, like, your initiates back up, your veterans, you have, like, basically none left.
804 starters who fell. I could tell you the color of their eyes, how they kept their hair, what jokes they laughed at. Or, I can tell you this. Each of them died for something greater than any of us. They fought for peace. They fought for a peace that Abaddon sought to choke from the citizens of the world. When all others turned away, we stood defiant, knowing the cost, gladly willing to pay it. After 6 weeks, the sons of the Great Khan and the sons of Guilliman appeared in the skies. The Mortificator's dereliction of duty had caused 4 billion deaths.
Fuck.
Do I believe they could have saved every soul? No, I do not. Do I know that in combat, a single blade can change the tide of war? We left Corellia broken, with barely enough hands to turn our fleet outward toward the Gulf once more. I had to be subdued and forcibly sedated because I refused to leave.
Wow.
I was not alone. I believe we all would have laid our weapons down that day and stayed on Corellia. But we turned our heads and flew into the dark.
So it sounds like they had to pull a retreat. It sounds like they absolutely got their ass beat. Like, not absolutely got their ass beat. They put up a very good fight, but 804 losses, they got their asses handed to them. They had to pull out and leave with what they had, yeah. Because if they stayed, it would have just meant the death of the chapter entirely. Like, again, when you get to the point where it's like, you're veteran, like, because the combat experience, the training loss, like, you can't impart knowledge if there's no knowledge left to be given. You know what I'm saying? You will never come back as a chapter if all your fucking combat experience vets are dead, you know, and can't train new people. So, like, again, with unsustainable casualties, yeah, beating a retreat like this, that's the smartest thing you can do, like, straight up, to keep your chapter alive. Obviously, it's no great victory. It's, you know, dishonorable for sure, I'm sure, in their eyes, but, like, you do what you have to do. Goddamn.
But we turned our heads and flew into the dark. We were gone for a century. That time spent in silence.
Like, I could see it being that long.
Remembering. Mourning. Lamenting. 2,000 years after Corellia, we were called on again. This time joining a shield made of 4 chapters. The Maelstrom Wardens. We were to flit around, being not much more than an early warning system. Fate, however, and a different idea. It was there we met the Astral Claws. No amount of recounted heroism will ever lead you to what the Astral Claws are today.
Wow.
The Red Corsairs, they call themselves now.
Oh.
Their leader has been reduced to a madman. Supposedly a demon prince.
Wow.
I hope that is not true.
So is that a chapter that ended up going rogue after the fact? Is that what that is? Somebody let me know specifically. I've not heard of the Astral Claws before. But goddamn, like I will say, like this guy looks disgusting, but this paint scheme here looks fucking very clean. That deep blue, gold lion black with that gray, that gunmetal, that looks clean. I will say that looks very fucking clean.
I do not demon prince. I hope that is not true. I do not wish to imagine Luft Heron, that roguish, charming, and noble warrior is that. Here on
that would be hard.
And the Red Corsairs are not the Astral Claws. They cannot be. The Claws died on Badib.
Badib.
What a foolish
That was a
waste.
war, right?
Miscommunication. Misunderstanding. The Luft believed the Imperial rulers on Badib were
Traitor
not only
war,
corrupt,
right?
but inept and truly lost. I do not support his rebellion.
Yeah,
Only
rebellion.
Luft.
Okay, yeah.
But I do understand it. I admit that by this point he was a different being. Too many decades spent fighting demon incursions in the dark spaces of Space Hulks. Too many lost brothers. Too many ignored cost. Too many ignored pleas for aid. We saw his homeworld, the world of his legion, being ill-treated and acted foolishly. The truth you won't hear is as follows. Heron begged and pleaded for assistance. He knew that the Wardens were too weak to hold back the horror. He begged for a crusade, for support. He held others back, offering greater tithes if his pleadings were answered. That was the log that broke Barakon's back. Barakon refused to believe an Astartes would behave in such a way. What a trade prince knows of a warrior's life, I do not know. Heron wouldn't pay, and because he wouldn't pay, others had to.
Damn.
Remember this. Heron refused to pay tithes to those who wouldn't do the right thing. But his handwritten documents of succession guaranteed a bolstered bulwark against the horrors.
Really?
Some traitor he was at the start, eh? Willing to defend the Imperium, just not willing to pay the extortionate rates of those trade guilds and the Mechanicus. I regret what happened, as do all the souls who witnessed tragedy.
So he rebelled because like of overtaxation, essentially. Is that what I'm? That's the feeling I'm getting from that line there. And I could definitely see that being the case, but yeah, he definitely seemed to be loyal at the start. So he's talking about like his regret for seemingly a friend almost, like, you know, or regret for a chapter, what ended up happening, what ended up taking place. I imagine this was pretty bloody. I don't know a whole lot of the events of Babdib. I have heard the name. I do briefly recall it, but I haven't checked out anything about it. So maybe we'll have to do that sometime. Goddamn.
I regret what happened, as do all the souls who witnessed tragedy. I am thankful that I was not there at the fall of the Firehawks. The sons of Vulcan carry with them the flame of humanity, and misunderstanding calls the Firehawks to be fired upon and killed. I remember my brother Shafi telling me what had happened. I remember how pale he was.
What the fuck?
It didn't take long for the news of the bloodshed and misunderstanding to spread. It quickly became a treachery and rebellion.
Was there blue on blue that
My brothers
occurred?
and I were considered renegades. And when
Really?
the end of the Badab rebellion came, we surrendered to Imperial justice. Justice. Remember that word. We were cast off again into the space between the worlds to spend 100 years in crusade, atoning for our sins. Of course, our luck by then was spent. We faced the dreaded mindless horde of the Tyranids who, with time, decimated our numbers.
Yeah.
And then the end came for us. All things must end. So did we. The death of my chapter saw the loss of perhaps the greatest breakthrough ever made by an apothecary. My surgeon brothers and I had managed to fix the flaw in our gene seed.
Really?
We had cured the Black Rage. You may know of the lies of the Inquisition, but do you know that because of them, the flaw of the sons of the Blessed Angel may never be cured?
Wow.
Inquisitor Talorus betrayed not only my brothers, but also the Knights of the Raven and the Scythes of the Emperor.
What did he do?
Our final death.
He just didn't get word out that they had the cure?
The claws of a tendril of the dread High Fleet Kraken.
Oh.
It was there that I ended. After seeing so many of my kin consumed or ripped apart thanks to an Inquisitor, I knew it was over.
Oh, the Inquisitors sent them to atone on that 100-year. I see, I got it. And there they got ripped apart by the High Fleet. That makes sense. God damn, that's brutal, man. Imagine getting the cure for, like, something that plagues thousands of Marines, thousands upon thousands of Marines. And you literally just can't, you know, send it back, get word out that you have it, and you're about to get decimated by a fucking shitload of Tyranids. That's scary, man. That's awful.
Ripped apart thanks to an Inquisitor. I knew it was over. And so did many others. In truth, I cannot tell you where many of us went. I know my dear friend Chiron was rumored lost in the void, but I see him sometimes, in my slumber. I do not believe he is dead, though I fear he may be. It's been many years since I've worn our plate, borne our heraldry, or seen another Astartes. You may have seen me on any number of so-called backwater worlds, helping those most in need.
Really?
By modern imperial law, I'm a heretic, a traitor, a coward.
So he hasn't donned his armor. So is this a Space Marine that's essentially stopped being a Space Marine? They got devastated, they got decimated, their chapter stopped existing, and he just took his plate off and basically is living on some backwater world by himself, kind of thing. Like that's radical. I've never heard of like an Astartes just like, you know, not donning his plate, like not joining another like chapter or whatever have you. He's just like straight up, nope, fuck you guys, I'm just gonna go live my own life. And yeah, like he would be technically a turncoat at this point if he's not fighting for the Imperium. If he stopped fighting for the Imperium, yeah, he's a traitor. He could get fucked for that. Like he could definitely face some severe consequences down the line if ever he's caught.
Heretic, a traitor, a coward.
This is a really good story. Holy shit.
I am none of those things.
Nah, like I don't think so. No.
I simply seek to help. I seek to spread peace with what little power I still have. According to the codices of the Astartes, I'm deserving of execution.
Yeah.
How can I do anything but help those I was conditioned to help? How can I not do what the Emperor made me do? And how can I do anything but mourn my lost brethren? Do you know what lament means? To lament.
To mourn.
Means to mourn. To regret. To remember. I still see my long-lost friends. I still think fondly of the human families I aided. I can never forget Luf's broken hearts as he saw the Imperium's response to his actions. I remember a past future that will never be. One that lives on in my mind. I lament the losses of so many.
Damn.
So many heroes and heroines. So many dreams and loves. But then again, what am I supposed to do? I was a lamenter once.
Wow. That was really good. That was really, really good. Wow, guys. I just want to give credit to his patrons there. That's awesome, man. That was Lamenters story by a warrior tier. What a great story that was. Again, a chapter I really don't know much of at all. Didn't really know much of at all. Bits and pieces I've heard from some of you guys because a lot of you guys are interested in them. So, you know, I obviously had to check them out a little bit here. I might check out a lore video on them sometime maybe and actually get like a you know, like the deeper knowledge about them. But man, right now they seem very, very interesting. I'm, you know, a very like tragic story, it seems like, you know, because they did seem that they were trying to do the right thing. Seems their chapter made mistakes, but they also got disgraced a lot inadvertently. Like they're cursed. I don't know where that rumor of curse comes from. Like I'm not really too sure where that story originated or why it originated. So if somebody can let me know a little bit more about that, I'd love to know a little bit more about that. Also the Babdib War, I'm pretty sure is what it's called, or rebellion, I suppose. Was it a traitor incursion, or was that kind of like a mini revolt within the Imperium? Because I'm getting the sense that maybe, you know, maybe it wasn't over the traitors initially. I'm sure it became about that later on down the line, but initially I don't think it was about that. But somebody let me know. I don't want to get the details wrong on that, but great video by Warrior Tier there. Wow, I had to leave a like on that. Of course, I'm already subscribed. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course, leave your recommendations down in the comments below. Come join our Discord if you're not a part of it already. It's awesome to see you guys there. And big thank you to all of our members, all of our Hastati, and our Principes, Dagenhart, Fear, and Hobbit. I appreciate you guys. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And with that, guys, this has been Centurion, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.